Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Well, this channel is dedicated to everyone who have interest and passion for 3D modeling. In my videos, I have tried to explain every single step that one would follow in building up a 3D project so that it helps everyone in the entry level who is a true beginner in this subject. Starting with simple 3D models, we shall slowly go deeper in the subject and try to make relatively complex models and see how one can do wonders in 3D modeling just by judiciously using the right tools for the right job. We would also discuss about the finer points or important tips while making the 3D objects. Some basic knowledge of geometry will definitely help understanding the subject better. We know there is a wide range of softwares available for 3D modeling, mostly paid, but some are free of cost. However, I found FreeCAD is one of the best such softwares which is free of cost and at the same time quite powerful and easy to handle. You can easily download the software from internet and install it in your computer. Once it is installed in your computer, the icon for the FreeCAD would appear in your system under application. Once we double click the icon, we come to this screen. This is the first page of FreeCAD 0.18 version. Let's get familiarized a little bit with the layout of this page. On the right hand side is our working space where we shall build our 3D object. One can get necessary help by clicking this tab. Under Documents tab, you can view the recent projects that you made. On the left, we have the combo view area. Here, we have a model tree. Model tree displays all the activities that we perform in chronological order. This helps us going back to a specific activity that we had carried out earlier for making any changes if found necessary at a later stage. We will see this later during the course of our journey. Down below is the area specified for display of details of properties and their respective values against each activity that we perform. On the top of the window, we have our toolbar where we can see various tools which will be used for making the 3D object or body. Among the available tools, some are extremely useful and as such many critical jobs can be carried out by using these basic tools only without going in for other tools. Also we have in the top is the drop down menu for workbenches. FreeCAD is based on the concept of workbench. Workbench can be considered as a set of tools specially grouped for certain tasks. For example, we can draw a two-dimensional drawing in Draft Workbench. Similarly, we can use Part Design Workbench for designing our usual 3D objects. Tech Draw Workbench can possibly be compared with a typical engineering drawing sheet where we draw front view, side view, top view or isometric view of a given object. Interestingly, FreeCAD offers us the privilege of having all these related views automatically converted from the 3D model that we build up and even conveniently have the ruling dimensions displayed in the drawings without our having to do much on this. For instance, we build up this pad in Part Design Workbench and just transfer the object or model to Tech Draw Workbench. You can have the related views of the object as mentioned earlier in a typical conventional engineering drawing sheet format, and you can easily have the dimensions mentioned clearly on the respective views. There are various types of workbenches available in FreeCAD as we can see in the drop-down menu. However, as a beginner, let us select Part Design Workbench for our making the basic 3D models. In our first tutorial, we shall try to make a very simple 3D object, let's say a 100 into 50 into 15 mm pad, which means a pad having length of 100 mm, width of 50 mm and thickness of 15 mm with a hole of 15 mm dia right in the center of the pad using only a few basic and fundamental tools. Let us start. For starting our project, we have to first click Create New button. Then we select our preferred workbench. We select Part Design Workbench. Then we click Create a New Sketch button. Since we want to first create a basic 2D sketch for which we need to have two axes of reference. As we click this button, we are now prompted to select a plane on which we intend to draw our sketch. There are three axes of reference in a three-dimensional object, namely X, Y, and Z. Therefore, there will be three planes available for us, namely XY, XZ, and YZ. Sorry. We shall select XY plane, means a plane consisting X and Y axes, which are the most common axes for making a drawing. As we confirm our choice by clicking OK, we are offered two clear axes of reference X and Y and their point of intersection, which will be our point of reference in the drawing. We are now ready to start our sketch. On the third band from the top of the toolbar, we can see a package of tools for our use. For making the 2D sketch of our intended pad, we have to first make a rectangle of 100 mm length, 50 mm width. We can use either the line tool or the polyline tool. With line tool, we can draw one line at a time, while with the polyline tool, we can continue to draw multiple lines in any direction just by clicking the mouse. For our convenience, let us take polyline tool and see how it works. As we click this tool, polyline is enabled. We bring the cursor on our point of reference and click. This is the start point of our sketch. Let us now drag the mouse along x-axis up to a certain distance and click the mouse at this point to end the first line. Now let us drag the mouse along y-axis up to say this distance and click the mouse to end the line along y-axis. Again click the mouse and drag along x-axis and go up to y-axis and click to end the line. Similarly, let us draw another line now downwards along y-axis and end the line at the point of intersection or the start point and click the mouse to close the sketch. Important point to note, you must always ensure that the line diagram of your sketch is fully closed, failing which you will not be allowed to move forward in making the 3D object. This is very, very important. Press Escape key from the keyboard to come out of the polyline command. The cursor takes back its arrow shape to accept the next command. This is the basic sketch of a rectangle, but without specific length of the arms, and hence the sketch is having 2 degrees of freedom, as we can see from the prompt message. We can increase or decrease the lengths to our choice or constrain the lengths, as is commonly termed in FreeCAD. Now we have to define the length of the horizontal and vertical arms of the rectangle. In order to have a rectangle of 100 into 50, we have to fix the length and width as 100 and 50 respectively. For doing that, we have to first select the horizontal arm by clicking the line. As we click the line, the color changes to green, confirming that the line is now selected. Then we click this tool to fix the horizontal distance between 2 points. Let us define the length by typing 100 in the keyboard. Similarly, we have to select the vertical arm of the rectangle and then fix the vertical distance by clicking the tool meant for fixing the vertical distance between 2 points. As soon as the length and width of the rectangle are clearly defined, the sketch becomes fully constrained and the color now turns into green and is also confirmed in the task area. Our first job of making the 2D sketch for the intended 3D model stands completed. In case the sketch goes out of the viewing area, click this button to fit the content within the viewing area. We have to now click the close button. The color changes to white, but again goes out of the viewing area. Click the button again to fit the content back in the active area. Now comes the important step. When we transform the 2D sketch into a typical 3D model by adding the third dimension to our 2D sketch. For doing this, we click the very first tool of the toolbar to pad a selected sketch. The moment we click this tool, we basically add a value to the third dimension to our body along z-axis to get the thickness of the pad and hence create a 3D object. By default, the thickness here is 10 mm. This value can be altered to our choice, either by typing the desired value, which is 15 mm in our case, or by clicking the up and down buttons provided here. At this moment, we cannot see the thickness part of the pad because we are looking at the pad from the top. To see the thickness, we need to keep both middle roller switch and right button of our mouse pressed together and rotate the mouse little bit. Later on, you can click this button which will set it back to top view. Our next job is to make a hole of 15 mm dia in the center of the pad. For making a hole, at first we need to again make a 2D sketch of a circle on a specified plane. For this, we have to select the particular plane on which we intend to make the sketch or the hole later on. For selecting the plane, just click on the surface. The color turns little bluish. Then click the tool to create a new sketch as we did in the beginning for making the sketch for rectangle. Important point to note, we always need to select the particular plane on which we intend to draw the basic sketch and then have both the axes of reference by clicking the tool to create a new sketch. Next step is to click the tool for drawing a circle. As we click the tool, the circle command is enabled. Bring the cursor on the specified plane and click once. This makes the center of the circle. Drag the cursor outward to show a circle with a variable diameter. Click once more, the circle is drawn. The cursor is still having the circle command. To come out of the command, press escape key in the keyboard. You are now free to do the next job. Notice the message on the left hand side prompt area which says under constraint sketch with 3 degrees of freedom, since we are free to place the circle anywhere along x and y direction, and also we can fix any value for the diameter of the circle. Now since we want to have the hole or the circle at the center of this rectangle, the distance between the center of reference and the center of the circle along x-axis would be 50 mm. As we know, the length of the rectangle is 100 mm. To fix the value, we click the center point of the circle to select it, and also click and select the point of reference. As we select both the points, the color changes to green. Then we click the tool for fixing the horizontal distance between 2 points. Type the value 50 in the keyboard and click OK. This means the location of the circle along x-axis is now defined. Similarly, we can click and select both the points and click the tool for fixing the vertical distance between 2 points. Type 25 in the keyboard, since we know the vertical arm is 50 mm long. So to put the circle in the middle, the vertical distance of the center of the circle would be 25 mm from the center of reference. As we fix both the dimensions, the location of the circle is now fixed. We cannot move the circle anymore along any of the axes. We are now left with only one variable, that is the diameter of the circle, which needs to be fixed. Look at the message on left hand side. It says the sketch is under constraint with 1 degree of freedom, which is nothing but the diameter of the circle. For fixing the diameter, we follow the same rule of selecting the circle by clicking the circle and then click the tool to constrain or define either the diameter or radius of the circle. Let us choose diameter. Type 15 from the keyboard and click OK to confirm. The sketch is now fully constrained. The color also changes from white to green. We need to click the close button as our sketchwork is now complete. Our next job is to add the third dimension to this sketch. In this case, we have to make a hole out of this circle. For doing this, we need to click the tool to create a pocket. This pocket tool has an amazing range of application. I would rather like to term it as a cutting tool. We shall see its use in performing various activities in our future projects. Now, as we click the tool, the hole is created immediately with a depth of 5 mm by default. To increase the depth, we can either type 15 in the keyboard, or we can increase or decrease the value by clicking this up and down arrow. For making a through and through hole, we can choose the option from this drop down menu. Click OK to confirm the action. With this, our intended job of making a pad of 100 mm length, 50 mm width, 15 mm thickness with a through hole of 15 mm dia in the center stands completed. You can now save the project by giving a suitable file name from the file option on the top of the screen. If we now click the model button on the left hand side, we can see the tree of all the activities that we performed in chronological order for building up this 3D model. This was mentioned in our earlier part of this tutorial. With this, we have come to the end of our introductory tutorial. We will demonstrate and discuss the use of other important tools available in FreeCAD and how those tools can be best utilized to make some relatively complex but amazing 3D models and also discuss about the important tips and tricks which are very essential to note in building up the skill of 3D modeling. Hope this video has been of help to the viewers who are absolutely new in this subject and have no previous exposure to 3D modeling in FreeCAD. If you have liked the video, please hit the like button and share with others. And also, please make sure that you subscribe the channel, which would enable you watch and enjoy the world of 3D modeling in our future endeavor. Thank you for watching the video.